Alright guys, today your video is over literary analysis. It's going to help you with our next unit. If you don't get it, there are 5 little letters that will help you. These are the letters you should include in your summary. LIDS, L-I-D-D-S. Language are the characteristics of the overall general use of the text. It's looking at the entire piece. Formal or informal are the ones you'll normally go with, but elevated is another way of saying formal. Colloquial is another way of saying informal. For example, thus seduced by fashion and blindly adopting nominal pleasures, I lost real ones, and my fortune impaired, and my constitution shattered, are, I must confess, the just punishment of my errors. Take warning by them. Choose your pleasures for yourself, and do not let them be imposed on you. Follow nature, not fashion. Weigh the present enjoyment of your pleasures against the necessary consequences of them, and then follow your common sense. So if you said that that was elevated or archaic language, you'd be correct. Archaic says that it happened much earlier period, and elevated just means formal. The I stands for imagery, a broad umbrella term that encompasses any language that is used in a sense of different from its literal meaning. So any type of literary device, simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, irony, oxymoron, basically all of them. Anything that covers some type of comparison, some type of contrast, but it draws that visual image to the eye would be imagery. At any point in this video, if you need to pause it, you just ask the teacher to pause it so you can catch up on your notes. Diction is analyzing the effect of 1 or 2 words in a passage, so it's never more than 1 or 2 words. And you want to look at the connotation, the emotional associations a word carries. So you ask yourself, is this positive or negative word? Then you try and attach an emotion to that word. A few words about choosing your words with diction. Don't use the word diction incorrectly, or I'll look at you like this guy. For instance, to write, the author uses diction when she writes the word stampede, means that you think she uses the word choice when she chooses the word stampede. So that means you have to have a reason that word was chosen. That is not really saying much. Kindly consider the connotation of stampede in the following. The student stampeded down the hallway and into the classroom. Is this word stampede generally positive or is it negative? What associations do readers have with the word stampede? Then you move on to detail. Refers simply to the information, facts, examples, and details an author chooses to put into the text. The facts support your answer to the question in the essay prompt, and the details, if the details do not fit into a figurative language category, then refer to them as facts, examples, details. So you're looking for more factual information here. What is Churchill's attitude toward Henry VIII? To those who saw him often, he seemed almost like 2 men. One the merry monarch of the hunt and banquet and procession, the friend of children, the patron of every kind of sport. The other the cold, acute observer of the audience chamber or the council, watching vigilantly, weighing arguments, refusing except under the stress of great events to speak his own mind. So what would you say Churchill's attitude is towards Henry VIII? Positive or negative? And what are the details then that refer to this attitude? The friend of the merry monarch of the hunt, the friend of children, the cold, acute, weighing arguments. Detached and fair would be the attitude. Churchill shows 2 sides of Henry with details that contain equal weight. He privies a balance of details for both a merry monarch and a cold, acute observer. So he's showing both sides, which is just being fair or neutral. Finally is syntax, the arrangement of words in a sentence, how sentences are structured. Syntax is another broad umbrella term. It encompasses many syntactical devices, forms of parallelism, asyndeton, polysyndeton, repetitive structures. Rhetorical questions fit in here as well, any punctuation, So you might want to write all of those examples down for syntax. We'll learn asyndenton and polysyndenton as we move on through our unit. My fortune impaired and my constitution shattered are, I must confess, the just punishment of my errors. Note how the syntax, the sentence structure, is inverted. You might rewrite the sentence like this. I might confess that the just punishment of my errors is my impaired fortune and shattered constitution. So instead of writing it in a way that is easier to understand, the author chose to invert that sentence and write it this way instead. So those are your lids. Please have detailed notes about what each stands for, and we will be using these when we look at our documentary the next day or two before the end of the week.